easy, but you are not. Bring it down, bring it back forever, bring it down on the ground, safe and sound, bring it back to never, bring it down on the ground.
Sometimes I'm really good at timing it so it kind of syncs up, and sometimes not so much.
Yeah, it happens.
Things. Sometimes you're just a little bit out of sync. You're just a little bit out of sync. Hello. Happy Sunday, everyone. I'm Shannan. That's my good friend Tiffany Norton. You look lovely. You look a little moist over there, Tiffany. You're very good. I like it.
It's the humidity. It's just no, I'm kidding. No, I just took a shower. I thought, you know what? I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna clean myself.
Bathing. We like bathing. Yeah. We weren't gonna talk about this story, but did you see that story about Mia Kunis and
Mia Kunis?
Mia Kunis, yes. I always say her name wrong. So Mia Kunis and her husband, they were talking about how they don't bathe a lot.
Oh, yeah,
and they don't bathe their children a lot. Yeah. And I'm like, I kind of get that, but when they say it, it just sounds dumb. Like it just I get why you want to not overbathe, kind of what they were saying, why she and Ashton don't overbathe all of their stuff, but it just sounded kind of gross the way they said it. I don't know why.
I know what you're saying. I mean, I get that, but I to their point too, I'm not sure where that came along where we're supposed to take a shower necessarily like every day, because you do get rid of a lot of the good bacteria on your skin. Right. And you don't necessarily, if you keep something like hyper clean all the time, you don't necessarily build up those good, the resistance.
The good immunities and things like that. So I don't think that we should overdo, but they just made it, I don't know. It just sounded bizarre the way she articulated that that's why they do it. Like, we bathe our children as little as possible. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So, like, what, you just pick them up and you waft them past your face and went like, today, into the water you go. So that's
kind of what she said. She's like, we wait until they stink and then we wash them. Now, I think that's different though, because when you've got an infant, boy, you got to wash all that. When they have a blowout, that's got to get washed. But when they're 4 or 5 and they can go potty by themselves.
Yeah. Paul, I think that's fair. That's funny that Paul says that some people think they're cousins. Right. Right. There are worse. Yeah. I mean, that, at least, and she wasn't, I mean, the way she said it, Paul, wasn't so like, wow, this is wackadoo. It was just, okay, you articulated that in a really less than stellar manner, like the way they said it. And hello, Paul. Tiffany, just to remind anybody who's checking in with us, we appreciate everybody who watches us every week. So feel free to say hello in the chat. We're going to go through some pop culture stuff, but Tiffany and I both had pretty busy weekends. So we also want to bring you up to speed on some stuff we did, like including she now has had a chance to see the Suicide Squad. She also got to see En Vogue over the weekend. Yep. And I got to hang out at a lovely con in town called Convergent. So we have some stories on that we're going to share. We also have 2 stories that are mouth related that we wanted to cover. So our 2 mouth related stories are going to come back as well. But do want to say thank you to everybody who's watching. And specifically, I want to say hi to you, Paul. And so, Tiffany, let's talk about convergence first, just because Paul, who is our friend who's in the chat right now, Paul, you came up on more than one occasion with some like-minded geeks and nerds that I saw at Convergence. For anybody who's not familiar with Convergence, it is one of the, if not the largest, fan-run sci-fi fantasy conventions in the Midwest. It like everything else last year, or like many things last year, turned into a virtual version. So this was the first year that we got to be back in person at the Hyatt in downtown Minneapolis. And it was lovely to see everybody that attended, some good friends that we've only been able to see virtually, similar to what we are doing today. So it was a lovely event. Tiffany, I think I told you this. So I was on a couple of panels that were really, really fun, including a Star Trek Picard panel, which was glorious. I was on a panel called Bad Films That We Love, and that was very, 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 very fun. I got to talk about a series of books that I really enjoy called The Rivers of London, which I think you would enjoy as well. And the other two panels that I did, one, I was on a panel with a couple of people that you've heard of, and it was called Comedy Changes and That's Okay. And so that was a great discussion to be able to have about, how we frame our comedy stylings. And so I was basically the stand-up comedian on the panel. We had a great friend of ours, Greg Parks, who's a wonderful improviser, who was on the panel. Tim Wick, who is a great, he is one of the chief instigators of vilification tennis, but also a wonderful sketch writer. And then Art Allen, who runs the Pandemonium show over in Northeast. So it was a cool panel. It was a very cool panel to be on. So I appreciate that. And I also got to be on a BIPOC and a BIPOC Geeks and Nerds Unite panel. So it was kind of all over the place this year. So it was fun. So shout out to everybody that saw us. So part of the reason why Paul came up is also the reason why you came up, Tiffany, is that a number of people that attend Convergence also attend another very popular con here in the Twin Cities called Crypticon.
Yeah, that's what I want to go to. Right. I want to go to that.
Yes.
Now you're talking my language.
Right. And so, Paul, that is part of the reason why you brought up, is that we know that you are quite often at Crypticon, and you are, so I did discuss the two of you, like you both should be there. Okay. I am going, but I will make sure I pass the information along because you are much more suited for it. Because for everybody watching, Tiffany is the horror fan and knows a great, like her database of horror knowledge is great. Mine, not so much. That's one of my blind spots. I don't watch scary movies. I don't watch horror movies. That's not my jam.
No, I know when I can introduce a film to you. I'm like, because it has to be minimal gore and it has to have enough. It has to be more of a psychological drama or something along those lines, as opposed to like gory horror.
Right. And I don't even like ones that are super jump scare. I just don't need it. I just don't need that in my life. And even when people tell me they're not scary, I'm like, yeah, but that's not the point. My brain is really good when you give it horror movie work parts. So I'm good at going, okay, now I'm terrified and can't sleep. So Paul, I will say this about, it's like, Tiffany, I don't normally cosplay. I just have outfits that are homages to geekdom, so it's like I have like, I went and I had on a dress that had unicorns on it yesterday, that kind of thing. So I just have nerd clothes. But Paul is very good at the horror related cosplay. So I don't want you to spoil it if you want to surprise everyone, Paul, but do you already know what you are planning to dress up as for Crypticon 2021? So please let us know what you think, because I'm curious if you want to give us a little tidbit of what you are going to dress up as, or if you just want us to be surprised if we plan on attending Crypticon this year. So,
yeah, well, if I haven't met Paul, I don't think I've met Paul yet. So
Paul was at our show. He was at our Twin Cities.
Oh my God, that's right. Paul. That's right. Okay, never mind. Erase.
Yes. Erase. He is quite proficient in the coming up with the horror related cosplay. So I like that.
He's got a message. He's picking up his special contact lenses tomorrow.
So you go all in, Paul.
That could be a couple things.
I applaud you.
Yeah.
I'm all done with that.
I'm gonna go as a manimal. Do you remember that show when you were kids? Manimal
show.
He was a man.
I like that one.
Animal. He was a manimal.
Yes. That's a lot of like now the fur technology, as we saw from the film Cats, has gotten so much better since the Manimal days.
Still my favorite thing about Cats, and I'm sorry, I'm taking us aside. They when they were doing the CGI of it, all the cats were anatomically correct, which means that they had bottoms and they had little,
cat butts.
Little cat butts. And then they realized that it was a little too graphic and they didn't want to see Idris Elba or Taylor Swift's
cat butt.
Cat hole. And so some dude had to CGI them all out. Some poor person, I don't know if it was a guy, but someone had to sit there and just all day long erase.
No. Which, as cat owners, one of the most funny things about cats is cat butts. So we're like, well, now that's where you draw the line on nonsense in this movie. That's the point.
Yeah, that was the part. That was when it was too much.
We ended up talking.
Sing and dance was fun.
Right. We were talking about Cats, the movie, because like I said, we had a panel that was on bad films we love, and Cats came up because the thing that I love about Cats is that if you haven't seen Cats, it's a great drinking game thing because it's ridiculous. It's dumb. And it's not even like good movie dumb. It's just dumb. But the thing that I do think is fascinating about it is that 90% of the character knew that it was dumb. Like speaking of like Idris Elba, he's like, look, I'm supposed to be Rum Tum Tigger and this Tiger and like go all in and be sexy cat dude. So this is dumb. Jason Derulo knew what he was doing and it was dumb. And he knew everybody was just going to ask about what's your package, what you packing in this thing. You know, you got Dame Helen Mirren doing whatever. You got, not Helen Mirren, I'm sorry, Judi Dench. Dench. You got Ian McKellen. I think it was Ian McKellen.
Was Ian McKellen in it? Okay.
Everybody was in it. But the thing that's about Cats is Cats has one song. Cats has one song. It has memories. I feel like nobody told Jennifer Hudson what they were doing, that this was just going to be ridiculous no matter how hard you try. So the fact that Jennifer Hudson used all of her acting charisma, talent, charm. She was channeling childhood trauma to effective, that was legitimately her ugly cry and snot bubbles. She brought that up from the depths of her soul for Cats. That disappoints me.
And then the director's like, it's a little much. Right. I mean, we're not taking it that seriously.
Right, exactly. Except for Taylor
Swift. Except for Taylor Swift. The reason why Taylor got in that movie is because she's always just wanted to be a cat.
Right. And she's like, I'm jamming. And J Hud's, but like that was J Hud's Oscar moment. Like, you need to save that for that Aretha Franklin biopic. Respect. Save your acting for that, not for Cats, because no matter how great you are, it's surrounded by all this lunacy. So you're doing yourself a disservice.
I always feel bad for those actors when you see them in movies and you're just like, oh God, this has just got to be painful for you. Like,
yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you see Gary Oldman and then he's just having to play something ridiculous. And you can just feel his skin crawling like, God, I'm going to kill my agent.
But the people in Cats, they're like, James Corden it.
Corden doesn't care.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Most of them seem to know what they were doing. It was just going to be dumb. And then Jennifer Hudson was like, but I have the one song.
She's got memories.
Yes.
Like the corners of her mind, misty watercolored memory. No, wait, that's the wrong song.
No, that's the wrong one.
That's Barbara Walters or Barbara Streisand, Barbara Walters. Barbara Walters. We all remember her in Cats on Broadway.
That would be a good mashup. I would watch that one.
Barbara Walters doing Barbara Streisand. That's an album that needs to be made.
We should work on that. Sure. You know what? Anytime, like, Reface is traumatizing enough, Paul. I agree with you, but the authenticity that they went for in the film Cats is what fascinates me.
Yeah, they went for authenticity and forgot to write a goddamn script is the thing.
That's based upon a musical that's terrible. It's my least favorite musical. And I'm someone, like, we brought this up. Cats is ridiculous, but I actually saw Starlight Express back in the day, which is Cats but trains. So it's bad too. It's all the actors on rollerblades. And I'm like, well, I'm all in on for this one too, I guess. So everybody save it up for Les Mis. I
only saw a couple. I've only seen a couple of musicals. I hate musicals. I'm not. I know, I don't like musicals. I don't really like theater. I don't mean that I'm uncultured. I like the idea of it and I like acting, but I can't suspend my disbelief enough. But Chorus Line was a great musical for me, I thought.
Do you like Chicago?
I liked Chicago.
Chicago is a good one. I would think of the ones I would tap you into Chicago.
That one was all right. But other than that, it's got the reason why they're singing has to make sense. Like Fame. I love the movie Fame. Yeah.
Because they're already in a music themed thing.
Correct. Okay. They're in a school for performing artists.
But damn Yankees, which is about baseball players, you don't want to see them sing. No. You're saying none of that.
Yeah, like Oklahoma, forget it.
The Music Man. So you can even old school, you go back to the Music Man because they're supposed to be. That's okay.
I mean, 76 trombones, pretty good. Right.
I'll go through my anthology and then see other ones that I think you'd go, okay, this makes sense. And I will go through my listing and see if I just we'll dabble. We'll dabble. You can occasionally suggest a horror movie, and I will do my best to sit through it. And I'll find, as the palate cleanser, some ridiculous musical, and then that'll be like our pinky swear thing that we'll just be miserable together watching the thing the other person likes.
Oh God. I don't even care if you see a horror movie now. Don't make it.
Okay, fair enough. I was trying to come to some sort of like.
No, I like it. All right, we'll do it.
I think that it's appropriately. It's something that is difficult, equally difficult for each of us for a different reason. So I figured it was fair. There was reciprocity.
Your skin's gonna be itchy and my skin's gonna be itchy, but for very different reasons. Yes,
exactly. So we're both like, okay, this is what we do, and we'll both pick a bottle of wine that we're like, some table wine that's not what I like or what you like, and it'll just be a date of compromise, and that's what we'll do the whole night. It's just compromise.
This is how we're gonna bring America together. We're gonna prove that we can just compromise.
Mm-hmm.
I'll drink a Moscato or something.
I don't drink Moscato either, so no. So we'll meet in the middle. Some table wine that's got some Chardonnay grapes and some Sauvignon Blanc grapes all shook up.
What we need is a musical horror film. That's what we need. We need a musical horror movie.
You know what? Because so Rocky Horror-ish.
Well, kind of, but that was really campy. That wasn't really a horror.
Well, a lot of them are really campy though. But there's a follow-up to Rocky Horror Picture Show. Did you ever see that?
I don't think
Probably not, because nobody saw that. And is Repo?
Are you talking about Repo Man? Is a musician horror film? Okay, Repo is a musician horror film.
Repo is
that one. Repo.
Yeah.
How did I miss Repo?
Okay, we'll look that up. Paul. No, Tiffany, there's actually basically a companion film to Rocky Horror Picture Show. And it's ridiculous. And I'm gonna look up the name because it's called Shock Treatment. Yeah.
Shock Treatment. That sounds familiar.
Right. It's a 1981 American musical comedy. Directed by Jim Sharman and co-written by Sharman and Richard O'Brien. It's a follow-up to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I will find the poster for you. And the poster here, look, let me.
Well, Susan Sarandon's not in it. I don't want to see it.
Here. Hold on. You got to at least see part of this. So let's see. This tab, is it this tab? Here you go, Tiffany. All righty. Let me go ahead and take our graphic down. There you go. There's some shots from the film.
Oh,
so that's the poster there in the red. You can see that it is equally as campy to everything that is going on in Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's got a bunch of terrible songs in it, kind of thing. So yes. Yeah. So one day, that one's hard to find because it's even more schlocky than Rocky Horror Picture Show, but I will do my best.
They should do a double feature. They should have both. You should be able to watch the first and the second. I've always wanted to do that. I've never done that. I've never gone to a live screening of Rocky Horror. I was supposed to a long time ago, and it was back in the day. It was like when I was in my 20s, but it was back when like GPS was not a thing.
Right.
I don't know. I was with one of my dumbass friends and we were driving around all over Minneapolis trying to find this place. And then finally we just gave up. And I think we went to a bar.
I've seen it a number of times live. Our local cast that does it, they actually do a really, really good job of it, kind of thing. So a really good job. And so if they go back to doing it, then I'll take you along.
Yeah, we'll go.
Yes.
We'll go. Now that I can get into. That's a musical. Right. That's music. That's because that's fun.
Right.
And it's Tim Curry. and it's drag, and I love it.
You're right. Yeah. So Cindy, we did start talking about Rocky Horror, and then we moved into the sequel of it, which Tiffany has not seen. Like most people have not seen Shock Treatment. If you like Rocky Horror, you'll go Shock Treatment is all right. It's
all right.
like it's
all
just
right, I'm in.
Yes. I bring toast and rice and everything else you're supposed to do, Cindy. Because I knew it's fun. Like I actually, the local cast here a few years ago used to have stand-up comedians that would warm up beforehand. And that was fun too. Yes. Mm-hmm. I like and that. So yeah, so I got there and I put on one of my more salacious outfits because I had heard how they treated some of the comedians that had been there before me. And usually it was a lot of shouting at them and telling them to take off their pants because it's mostly dudes, kind of thing. So they'd end up sitting there going, well, you got to take off your pants and walk around in your underwear like in the movie, like Brad. But then since I knew what I was getting into, I showed up in the hoochie skirt and the fishnets and the my high heel boots that I own, just nobody ever sees. But I got them because in my head I'm that person, and then I'm like, you're not gonna wear this stuff.
I've seen them. I've seen. There is a secret shoe collection that only a few,
right?
A few. Like, what was that old slogan for the Marines? That's what
the few, the proud. No, yeah. the few,
Marines.
the proud.
Only a few get to see it.
Her sexy shoes, yeah, kind of thing. Hoochie being only one, yeah, hoochie, yeah, kind of thing. It's funny because I'm either mostly this, and then you're like,
Pollyanna. She is Pollyanna or Priscilla of the Jungle,
right? It's kind of like one extreme or the other. So yeah, but I have them all. Like it's funny. A friend of mine had brought up. He's like, hey, they were having one of those leather balls in town, like where you show up in all of the bondage gear. And so I'm like, you got something in the closet I didn't know about? And he's like, no. And I'm like, I could have come up with something. Like I'm like, if I dig a little deeper, there's something that I cosplayed a close enough or something where I'm like, yeah, I got a latex skirt. And for some reason I got this weird bustier and I have things. So I could have come up with something. Okay. And it wouldn't have been, I'm queen of the ball, but I wouldn't have got kicked out.
Peek behind the curtain for other people that do not know Shannan as well as I do. Shannan has a beautiful duplex, but it is a little tight on storage. There is one closet that you would normally think, coats. Coats go there. Nope. That is all of her costumes. Those are all the cosplay, all the costumes, all the wigs, all the accessories, all the fun stuff. I love it. And you know what? I appreciate your prioritization because that is clearly more important than storing winter coats.
You don't need two coats. I got a coat.
Yeah, you need a nice coat, and you need a coat for shoveling. What else do you need?
Yes, and we've got, I've got that. I have the let's go play in the snow coat for the kiddo and his real coat. No, I don't need a whole coat full of closets.
No,
I mean a whole closet
more leather for the leather ball. I go to a leather ball. Hell yeah!
Oh, you know what, Paul? You could do that. Yeah.
You should wear a latex skirt. But you know what, Paul? That's what I was gonna wear. Now we're gonna get confused.
You can just do who wore it best.
Okay. We'll do a side by side. Okay. So even though can I talk about some leather though?
Yes, please.
Can I talk about some sexy?
Yes, please.
In Vogue Friday night at Canterbury, Queens. Oh my God. You know how I hate to work out. These ladies are so good. I'm like, I need to work out. I need to do some arms. I am telling you, I'm going to forget her name and it'll come back to me. Looking exactly like Tina Turner or Angela Bassett as Tina Turner.
There we go.
Oh. They were amazing. And you know what? I'm so jaded about music and that as far as like what's processed, what's produced, all of that stuff. I'm literally 5 feet from this woman and none of this is processed. The harmonies are incredible.
That's wonderful.
And you know it's not going through any. This is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful a cappella. And even though there used to be 4 gals in the group and now there's 3.
Still right on point.
Still good.
Wonderful.
Really good. Really good.
We want to say thanks to everyone who signed up for our giveaway and thanks to both Canterbury Park and Sue McLean at Associates for giving us the tickets to give away and giving us the opportunity. And hopefully we have another opportunity to do that as well. So thanks a lot. It was a good giveaway last week. We had that. That was exciting to be able to go.
That was fun.
No, we're going to give away these tickets.
Yeah. It was a really good show. And
yes.
yeah.
There's still pleather. We just don't talk about it as much because pleather, the quality of pleather has really increased over the last few years, Cindy. So you can actually just get down and go. They're like, is that pleather? I'm like, yeah, but it's quality pleather. It is quality pleather.
Yeah, pleather makes noise. Pleather makes sounds.
And latex is hot. It's I mean, and I don't mean just hot. Like it's once you're in it, you're in it. Like trying to take it out.
I used to have a zip up completely latex dress.
Yes.
I won't go into the details as to why I had it, but it was quite popular.
Oh yes, yes. They are. You know, you put them on once.
Sweat.
Oh my gosh! And then when you take it off, there is a pool. Yeah, there's a pool of you.
You self exfoliate.
Yes,
you lose some skin.
Like one of those packets where you used to buy the packets that you would drop in the water and boil in bags. It's your own boiling bag when you're in a latex suit. It's a lot.
Yeah, forget all the going to the gym stuff. Just walk around in latex all the day. You will lose weight. Just drink water. Walk around. Latex.
Hydrate. Yeah. Pleather, like my pleather. What would make it fall apart is it would crack and then it would just like slowly peel off like the pleather. So yeah. So now it's just kind of thing. Like
night, though. It's like, ooh, it's starting to crack.
Like, hey. I love it. I absolutely love it. So yeah, so we had a good time. I had already talked about seeing the Suicide Squad, and now you are up to speed on the Suicide Squad. So in a spoiler-free review,
yes,
what do you think now of the Suicide Squad?
I see what they were going for. I am not as excited about it as you were.
Gotcha. Okay. Is there a particular reason?
There's a couple.
Okay.
I liked where they were going. Some of the shots, like the transition things, that was really clever. That was really creative. I appreciated that they tried to inject a little more levity into it. I think Idris Elba did an amazing job, not being Will Smith, because technically it's a different character, but kind of being Will Smith. You know what I mean?
I think they played more up the, because there's similarities.
Right.
But they really played up the villainous side of the characters in this one more than and even like the characters who are technically the government characters, the villainy altogether is cranked up in this one, where you're like, I thought you're supposed to be the good guy because you are an ass, kind of thing. But I loved that they got to act. Like Idris Elba, I thought got to show a full range. Even John Cena, Viola Davis was crushing it. Like I was impressed with that. But I can understand why you weren't as
It reminded me, here's where, and I know you didn't see this, but I know you know all about it, but it reminded me a little bit more of the series The Boys.
Okay, yeah.
And
it is hyper violent.
Like they were going for that with the anti-hero a little bit, but you know what I mean? I know what they were going for. It was decent. I was not thrilled with how it was handled with the thing that they had to fight. I don't want to give anything away.
You can do that. It's in the trailer. So at the end, they're big bad monster.
Giant starfish.
That's Starro though. Like we were all waiting for Starro.
The huge eye.
Yeah. Maybe that's the comic.
And then it shoots little things out of its
mini Starros.
And I was like,
okay, that's
fair. A little like aliens in the sense that comes and gets on your face, and then it controls your mind, and I don't know.
Yeah, and we were in as a comic nerd. I was like, oh, they got Starro right, kind of thing. Like I'm looking at little things like that they finally got some things right.
You have a confirmation bias because you know what that is supposed to look like and how it's supposed to be and what it was supposed to look like. And so when you're satisfied in that, but I was just
absolutely. This is weird.
I'm not scared of this thing at all.
But you should be.
And also, how does Starro suddenly be totally encapsulated in water and then not in water and it's totally fine? It's a starfish. Have you ever gone to the ocean and pulled a starfish out? They dry up.
It's a space starfish.
I suppose there's no water in space.
You're right. It's a space starship. Starfish.
Oh, you're right. That's right.
But still, hey man, I spend most of my time trying to make these things, not even trying to, just organically making these things make sense. That's pretty much what happens when you live in nerdland like I do, is most of your internal mechanism is going, here's how it makes sense in whatever weird world they've created. And as long as they do it in the weird science that they created for that world, I'm cool with it. And so I that was probably part of the reason why I was more enthusiastic about this too, is I'm just like,
I had no idea what it was supposed to be like.
Right.
I didn't have any clue. But as far as that, I actually kind of prefer the original the first Suicide Squad.
Fascinating. Okay. No.
But Birds of Prey was better than all of them.
Yes. Birds of Prey was the first one that was correctly in the right direction with the characters. And I say this, and I don't think that this is giving away too much. In my opinion, I thought that Margot Robbie and the way that they evolved, speaking of Birds of Prey, the way they evolved Harley Quinn and the way she had so much more agency, but was still incredibly flawed and insane, was quite on point. I really enjoyed her variation of, I'm growing.
She really is. Her character is a scene stealer, and the rest of them have to just kind of try to catch up. And
that's when you've got Idris Elba in the film, and you're still like, but Margot Robbie, like that character was beautiful.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I say nothing. I think it's great, and I'm glad that DC is putting out stuff that the geeks actually
like, not trash. Yeah.
I know. But no one's superior to the original Supermans.
That's just different. So I'm okay with that too. So Tiffany, you can purchase the dress that Harley Quinn wears in the Suicide Squad. It's very reasonable price item at Hot Topic. You should get that.
I would love that.
You would look good in that dress, that red dress that she wears.
And then I could do that. I gotta dye my hair blonde again and dip it.
Or we'll just get you a wig. We'll get you a wig.
Yeah. I'm committed to my part, Shannon, please.
Okay, fair enough. I'm committed to wigs. So I'm good with
we have to go to the closet, the pleather closet.
The pleather closet does also have the wigs in it. Yeah. So hello, Mark. Hello, Mark H. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate the compliments. Hello.
Should we talk about the mouths?
Let's talk about the mouths. Okay.
Also, the starfish didn't have a mouth. Okay.
Right. It just had an eye. Okay. So Tiffany, of our two mouth-related stories, would you like to begin with the human mouth or the non-human mouth? I will let you decide for all
Let's
of our
Let's go human mouth first, because I know less about that story and more about the non-human
mouth. Okay. So the human mouth story is actually because you and I do spend a lot of time looking up Guinness Book of World Records. So this was one I thought, I don't know. We started and now it's just a fascination. And especially since we looked it up once, then now it follows me around on Google. So I get articles all the time. So this one is about a woman who holds the Guinness World Record for having the largest mouth.
And it's not us.
Nope.
Can you believe it?
Nope.
You didn't even ask us.
Because it is actually based upon size. So I'll play a little bit of her TikTok video we have here. Here we go.
Nuh-uh.
Yep. Wait for it. Watch this.
Oh my God, this is like the lady they have on Howard Stern. They could do the whole thing with
She's so pretty.
So this way, I am 14 and a half centimeters wide. And then up and down vertically, I am just, I think it's like 6.57 centimeters up and down. It became a thing where people would comment, well, if your mouth's so big, can you do 2 donuts? Can you do 3 donuts? How do you eat a sandwich? Can you do an apple?
I decided on the strategy of fitting in all 3 at one time, which is a very bold and risky move. You can see the determination in my eyes.
Think of how fat I would be.
Watch her. She's so fascinating.
Humans actually have reached out to me.
I love her. So, Tiffany.
I would be, if I could eat a whole donut in one bite. Oh man.
She is just wonderful. And so that is Samantha Ramsdale. Samantha is from Connecticut, and now she is the record holder for the world's largest mouth gape for a female. And as she said, it's 6.56 centimeters or about 2.5 inches when measured. When you measure it across, it reaches more than 10 centimeters or 4 inches across. That's absolutely amazing. Paul, why do you look so shocked? I don't think, Paul, you should look like scared. I thought she was magical. That is, I was quite like, oh, wow, kind of thing.
She should enter that hot dog thing. Forget that Nathan's guy.
Yeah, but I think that I don't know because she could fit him in this way, but can she consume them that quickly? Because he goes down as well as just girth.
Yeah. Okay. You're
So
right.
I mean, that's why that Nathan's guy is crazy because he can actually like
But at the end of
ingest
the
all of
race,
those
at the
that
end
quickly.
of the race, you could have the most in there. Oh, it's
Fair
still
enough.
in there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That works.
I got a foot long right in here. I know. Terrible joke.
But I think it's also, I just find her, the fact that she could do that is interesting, but I just was fascinated watching her because she was just so oddly pretty, like so like with her eyes and the way she was, it was like cartoon pretty.
You don't really realize how large it is until she starts with
Yes, that's what she said, and she said that it was actually really difficult when she was younger, that, it was something she was really insecure about and something that she wanted to keep really small. And she said, but I've grown into it. And it's like, it's one of the biggest, best things about me. And I love that she actually says it this way. She's like, it's your superpower. It's the thing that makes you unique and special. And everyone should be celebrating what makes them different. And I just love that. And that she's so funny and owned it. Cause I could imagine what it's like and all of the teasing that she went through when she was younger and people saying, you're ugly, you're this, you're that, when it's like, no, you are fascinating and beautiful. And you just, like her face is just so wonderful and captivating to me. So yes.
Should we see how many French fries we can fit in our mouths? Should we?
We should have prepared. We should have prepared.
I know we should have prepared. I
don't have anything here that's really like aggressive that you could tell.
I've been told by some ex-lovers that I have a small mouth, which I find counterintuitive.
Okay.
For as long
I have never gotten that. So mine must at least be average in nature, in the size.
I think yours is above average in nature.
Yes. Yeah. And Paul, I agree. Like Paul said, she's definitely cute. I agree. And it's. I mean, even if we because you and I don't have exactly the same size hands, so we can't even go.
No, I saw
like how much of.
I knew a guy who, due to a birth defect, was born without a hand, right?
Oh.
And it was there used to be some kind of weird medicine that they used to give women that were having morning sickness, and then they realized that there were complications from that, and it was actually causing problems with the babies, and there were some deformities, right? So this guy was born without, the hand part, and he would as a joke, this is his thing. I'm not making fun, but he would go. He would have his buddy climb or like cheer and just yell and like, "Oh God, not again!" And he would just put this part of it in his mouth, and it would look like his whole hand was in his mouth. And they would do that like in elevators for fun.
I could just imagine you're like, "Hey, I got a trick," and if you got that trick, man, you might as well flaunt your trick that you've got.
Right.
I get it.
I know it was and and then he used to play football, and then he would wrap it up and tape in that, and so it would look kind of like a club. And then the other teams were questioning him. They're like, is this is illegal? You can't do that.
Like, nope, it's my thing.
He legit played football and only had one hand.
Yes, that's amazing. I like it when people go and they go all in on what they have.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's move on to our non-human mouth story. And this one, you and I had a difference of opinion on. So there were some anglers. Yes, there were some anglers in Jennett's Pier, North Carolina, and they got something unexpected and uncanny from the Atlantic. And what it is it is a fish that actually has a set of what looks like human teeth. And here it is. That is the fish.
Yep.
And it's called a sheep's head fish, also known as a convict fish because it has dark stripes running down its gray body. I find this disturbing. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm not down with it. Like it's something about it that just looked very disturbing. Like I don't want to catch that. I didn't want to hang out with it and see it in the aquarium. I'm not digging it. But you said, and they go on to say in the story that it's actually very good to eat. So you've had one, you said, Tiffany?
I have.
Okay.
I have had a variety of it. So that's a sheep's head. I've had a pacu, Pacu, and they are Those are found mostly in Europe.
Mhm.
You're not going to be able to see it very good on my phone, but there's
Okay. All right. Also
more
teeth.
there, right?
Mhm.
It's got the human teeth like that. And sadly, and COVID has taken away everything good and right in this world. My favorite fish place in downtown St. Paul, Octo Fish Bar, is closed. But that was on the menu. And I had it. It's really
Wonderful.
good.
Mhm.
Really good eating. But they do say, and they say that it's fine to swim with them. They won't hurt you unless they're aggravating you. But I will caution you, if you are a man and you are used to if you're used to going potty while you're swimming, number one, not number two, they are attracted to the warmth.
Mm-hmm.
And they may swim up near your nethers.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which
they
you
might
don't
think
want that.
you're a snack. So don't pee
in the
with
water
your
next to
balls
that.
out and your wiener out with these for sure.
Gary Busey.
Otherwise, they won't bother you.
And the thing is, and the thing that's also interesting about it is that those are quite powerful. Like they're omnivores, and they eat shellfish. So those are for cracking the shells. So that is quite powerful.
And that's why they're good
as well.
And that's why they're really good eating fish too, because they eat the shellfish and then all the different natural things. It's really good.
Right. Well,
I didn't know what I was eating though, and then he showed me the data it was on because he liked to shock me. He showed me the teeth afterwards. Had I seen the face first, I may not have dived in on that one.
Yeah, I might not have liked it either. It looks a little too close to like humanity for me to enjoy. I don't want to know what it looks like either. It doesn't look fish-like enough to me. I found it quite disturbing. I don't think I want it.
Why are you mad about a fish with good molars? Come on.
I'm all like, just live your life then. Just live your life.
The poor fish goes home and he's 14 and the dad's like, oh God, we're going to have to put braces on you. Not in my family. Look at those teeth. They're a little jakety. We're going to have to get a fish orthodontist.
So it says that actually you shouldn't hesitate to swim in waters that are inhabited by they because they pose no threat to humans unless harassed.
And harassed.
Yeah, I'm good.
They can, because that was the big concern. That's why they were doing this one particular study about it, because I think the guys were really worried about their nethers.
Are you going to chomp off my nethers?
Yeah, exactly.
Just keep your nethers in your shorts.
Keep your pants on. It's not hard.
Always. Exactly. The answer is almost always keep your pants on. That usually will help. So Tiffany, I know that, we talked about our fish related stories. Want to remind everybody, we got a couple of things coming up. Our friend, Jake Stubby J Beaver is going to be hosting a wonderful movie trivia night coming up this Thursday, August 12th at the Twin Cities Film Fest Twin Cities Film Fest offices. And it's $5 to get in if you're a member. It's $10 to get in if you're not, which is going to help go to all of the prizes that you can win when you're there. So that is going to be fun. And then we're going to go back there again on September 9th for another comedy shorts and stand-up comedy night. So make sure you keep following us because we're going to be there again, Tiffany and I. And then other than that, if you're looking to see us in the same spot, man, just go out there and start getting your tickets already for the Pay Gap Comedy and Music Festival that's going to be coming up at the fairgrounds. Fun. Last year it was amazing. And you
don't have to fool around with the whole fairgrounds. What's cool about it is basically we get our own section, kind of like if you're familiar with it, it's over in the West Market where the Shell stage is, and we kind of get that area. And so you can just drive right in like a VIP. Right. It's really cool. You're like, oh, I'm sorry. No, right. Sorry. No, I need to drive. Because as a Minnesotan, it's the funnest thing when you get to drive your car onto the fairgrounds.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I am having my own parade.
Ta-da! Yeah, exactly. It's lovely. It's lovely. Let's see. What else do I have on? I actually am doing a virtual show next week, but it's Monday night and it's part of the Burbank Comedy Festival. So it's on their time zone though. So for us here in Central, it's 11 p.m. Is what I'm performing. So that's on Monday night though. But if people
works for most of our friends.
Yeah.
11
so
p.m.
if you're up. Yeah, if you're up and since you get to watch me in your pajamas anyway, you can see our virtual comedy festival that's there. So lots of time to come see us. We always appreciate everybody supporting us and following.
Stuff to plug too.
Oh yeah, let me know.
Oh my God, I have so many things. You don't even know.
I know. I do. I'm waiting for you, and I'm gonna put the links in. So you tell me what you got.
Monday Night Comedy Show is back live. One of the longest running open mics in Minnesota. They are back. They are actually having in person again. Obviously, with COVID, we had to flip, and so MNCS Spring Street, best box wine in town.
Gotcha.
Super fun comedy.
I'm putting that link in there right now, so that's their Facebook page, so you can go ahead and find out more about what they have going on over there.
Wednesday night, I'll be in Burnsville at the Ineffable Brewery. Which I feel like is maybe going to be kind of like a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy kind of deal with no, I mean like Good Omens, like the ineffable question. Anyway, and then what else? And then on the 22nd, I'm also doing a show at Keg and Case with the gal from Pay Gap Comedy Tour, and so that's a show outside 7:00 Keg and Case in St. Paul.
Are all those on your website already, Tiffany?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to like easily put the link out there. So give it to me and we'll make sure we put them in the chat.
Website. I'm sorry. I have to update my website. If there's anybody in the chat that
who would like to be her virtual assistant.
Yeah, I am taking applications for virtual assistants.
Right.
You must wear
We're not even playing.
You must show me your wig collection and then we can talk.
Yeah, so she could use a little bit of help, as we all get. So so send all the information, and I will make sure that we get all of those links and we put them in the chat. And we always appreciate everybody that supports the Black Unicorn and the White Witch Show, including what Paul does for us almost every week. Just feel free to share this if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube.
Please
share the link. Share the link, like and subscribe, hit that little button and let us know, if there's something that you're like, hey, you want us to talk about it, always send us and let us know. Because that's why we started this, was to build community and give everybody a place. And who knows what's going to happen this winter. So you might as well start making friends now.
Right.
Let's make some virtual friends now.
Come on. We're going to have more variants on this darn COVID than Loki season.
You're right. Yeah.
Which I am watching and I do enjoy.
Oh, good. Okay. How many episodes are you in?
I think I'm in
2, 3,
5 or 6.
Oh, you can't be 5 or 6 because you'd be done.
No, I'm pretty. 6. No, is it that short? No,
it's only 6.
Pretty far in there. Well, then I think I'm at 5 then.
Okay, cool. Yes. Oh wait, Paul says he has an announcement. Paul, Paul, what is your announcement? So let us know. We will be happy. Here, we'll give you this, Paul, while you're putting it in the chat. All right, Paul, what do you got for us? We would love to help support. So you go ahead and throw it in there and we will support it. We learned something new about our what?
That's his announcement.
He's a Loki. He's like, I'm a variant. So and we always, if anybody has any charity events going on, if they have any, a number of our performer friends are in here. Hey, Joe's in here. What's up? Hey, Mr. Ticker.
Hard boy.
Well done.
Ticker, kid?
I hope that your ticker is improving. Oh, okay. So the Mobile Jazz Project is doing a show at Minnehaha. Oh, nice.
Minnehaha Falls, fun.
Nice. Thank you for suggesting that. Hey, we're outside. Oh, and I have to go. It turns out that Cyclone Kid is already home. I just got a text. So,
all right. All right.
I just got a message that said, hey, we're outside.
That's perfect timing.
So everybody make sure you go and you shout out, see Paul's show. We'll make sure the information is in the chat as well. Please like and subscribe and watch us every time you get a chance so you can see all of these things and let us know. You can always follow us on Facebook, send us a link and we'll make sure that we support you and we appreciate everybody watching. So sorry, I'm gonna go let my kid in the house. So
right. That's your choice.
Yes.
That's the thing you can do.
So we love you guys. We'll see you next Sunday. Bye.
Someone who take a little time to see that maybe I'm not worthless. But all my plans fell far from good, and all my words were misunderstood. Start to think that maybe I deserve this. When my lucky stars crash to the ground in the hands of fate. clues. Trying to shake the sidewalk blues. Wanna feel like I won't fit away. Every next step that I take, the broken piece starts to bend shake. So I sat down and prayed for rain. When my record stars crash to the ground, my hands are fed, were tightly bound, and a voice said,